The Heartbroke Kid is the 17th episode of the 16th season of The Simpsons, directed by David Silverman and Stephen Dean Moore. Honestly, I didn't love it. There wasn't very much in this that I liked. I didn't hate it though. There's nothing specific that I thought was terrible. It was a bit of a bland episode. There's a new vending machine installed at school, and Bart becomes addicted to the junk food at the vending machine, and he becomes overweight and ends up having to go to fat camp. And there are a couple of other characters at fat camp which I thought were quite interesting. I won't explain who goes, but I mean that was fair enough. And meanwhile, Marge and Homer have to do something at home or in the house to gain extra money from the money they're losing sending Bart to this fat camp. And again, I won't say any more about that because I don't want to spoil it, and that's basically it. That's the narrative. There's really not much else to it, and I don't feel like there's a lot of substance to it, and I feel like the whole thing was just, oh, let's laugh at Bart being fat, and it's just not very funny. Like initially, when we see Bart being animated as a chubbier character, yeah, that was quite interesting because it looks different, visually it's interesting. They actually, and I wonder if they did this because they didn't have enough substance for the full episode, but they recreated the titles, but with Bart being overweight. And yeah, I mean, that was interesting enough, but I feel like that was maybe a minute of time, maybe just under a minute. And had they had a more well-rounded, packed, full, entertaining narrative, they wouldn't have needed to do that. And I just feel like there's not a lot of substance. It's not even all style, no substance. It's a tiny bit of style, visually interesting a little bit, and not much else happens. There's no quote in this that I love. There's not really anything about the narrative that I found to be fascinating or thought-provoking or interesting. I just didn't care for it at all. I didn't find it funny or charming or sweet or just no positive adjective whatsoever. The only thing it did do was make me hungry, which is probably not the best message to gain from this. I didn't care for it. I didn't hate it. I wasn't offended by it or anything, but at the same time, I can't imagine I'll ever watch The Heartbroke Kid again.